Alrighty, welcome to another edition of Down to the Wire. I'm not sure who we have here. We've got Jedi Tricks for sure, Trick I guess, and also Doug Chappell. So welcome to the show, Doug.
Thanks, Jackson.
On Saturday, so this program will be aired on Thursday. So last Saturday, we'll call it. This filly won in a stake race. It was she's a 2-year-old filly, and I believe it was also your first stake win.
It was training and driving, so it was a big moment for my career.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And again, this is sport. So I guess the interesting part of this whole story is you went to the yearling sale last year, which would have been 2017, I guess. This filly only sold for $1,000, and you're an up-and-coming person in this game, and I'm sure money is an issue at all times as well. So she probably fit your price range, but did she also look the part, or just taking a shot, or how'd you guys hook up?
To be honest, Jackson, I spoke with my dad about her on paper before, because my dad had driven her mom, Charlotte's Trick.
Okay.
And she was a class mare, and we actually just talked about her on paper. I never actually stepped foot in or near her to see her previously, so once I bought her, I was perhaps disappointed at her look, but after that, I kind of just worked with her abilities.
And all summer we had heard, we talk about different things in the race office, and people come by, and we'd had lots of reports how good this filly looked. Again, I think people are interested, especially when you can get one for the price range and that kind of things, and you seem to have the patience with her. When you mention your dad, that's John Chappell, a well-known name in Western Canada, training and driving here. Are you third generation?
Yeah, I'm third generation. My dad's father, he also drove Graham Chappell in PEI.
Again, we go back to that PEI base again. There's so many people involved in this industry. So this filly, you got her. She was, I assume, on the small side, what you're referring to. They have been kind of small coming from that farm. What do you start with her? How do you just kind of get her limbered up? You get her fed up, I guess, as far as feed and get her happy.
Yeah, to be honest, that was the biggest thing, was just we try to feed her and get some weight on her, get her healthy. And I owe a lot of credit to Dave and Donna Lamont and Wise. I mean, they helped. They took her to the farm for the first little bit, and then kind of fattened her up a little, and kind of went from there. So it's just kind of been just following the stream, basically.
No, a dream for sure. It's a great story. It shows in this industry that you can get lucky. It keeps all of us little people in the game. I own 10% of horses along the way too. So here's one, and all of a sudden I assume Rob Wise is a good friend of yours, and all of a sudden I know it's the son of Donna, but he got in on her too.
Yeah, we grew up together actually for many, many, many years. I spent roaming around the racetrack with a handful of kids, and he was one of them. So he was there at the yearling sale and really wanted a part of a horse. So I said, well, sure, Bob, you want in? So we gave him a third of her. So kind of worked out for all of us in the long run.
No, that's very good to see. And your wife, Kayla, she's a partner as well. Kayla's also a driver, gets a few drives here in Alberta, I think working for Kelly Hort as well.
Yeah, I mean, aside from who she works for, I mean, she's a very talented horsewoman. She could drive, she could train. She helps me. If I don't notice things, Kayla generally will. So I owe a lot of credit to her too.
So it is a team effort. Also on that note, you had Brandon Campbell drive her last week up in Edmonton in a overnight event. Was there any thought of putting him back down again? You don't get as many drives as him, obviously, but this whole thing is just a great success story. Was there any thought of using him?
He's a good friend of mine, but to be honest, no. I actually just had whipping days. Yeah. I had a suspension, so that was the only reason I was forced to use another driver. But I mean, Brandon, Mike, Hennessy, I mean, either one of those two guys, if I wasn't driving, they are. So if I'm fortunate enough to get them, that is.
Oh, for sure. So now we've got the Super Finals on November 17th. This little filly is going to be racing for, I think it's $80,000. Again, it would be a nice story. She is brave right now. She's on top of her game. A lot of the other fillies are maybe getting tired, and you made a great 3-wide move down the backstretch yesterday. So I'd like to wish you all the best of luck, and her in particular. I think she's had too much licorice as we speak right now, but great story. If anyone's watching this and wants to get involved in this industry, here's an example. $1,000 horse. She's got probably about $25,000 on her card this year. Going to be racing for $80,000. Got a beautiful animal, and lot of stakes coming up next year as a 3-year-old. So thank you for joining us, both of you, on Down to the Wire. And if you have anybody out there has any suggestions that you'd like to find out questions or have people interviewed, please let us know. We'll be doing this all winter. Thank you very much. Good luck, Doug.
Thanks, Jackson. I appreciate it.